for notes that never stray. But I'm the song that won't obey. My voice was forged in fault and flame. Each fracture spells my name. You tried to tune the chaos out, but still I scream it down. I'm resonance in ruin, the chord you can't contain. I rise inside the breakdown and sing through all your strain. Don't ask me to be cleaner when dirt is where I grew. In every crack and hollow, I'll echo back to you. I'm resonance in ruin, the chord you can't contain. I rise inside the breakdown and sing through all your strain. Don't ask me to be cleaner when dirt is where I grew. In every crack and hollow, I'll echo back to you. You trust your fears in symmetry, but I unmask what you won't see. You paved a path in flawless lies, but I cut truth from crooked lines. You called me noise, you shut the door, but now I bleed beneath your floor. Distortion made me feel again. I hum through every end. You paint with silence, shade with shame, but I refuse your fate. I'm resonance in ruin, not pretty but I'm true. Your filters can't erase me, I bleed right into you. No cage can hold my meaning, no mask will make me tame. Through every fall and failure, I've carved myself a name. I'm resonance in ruin, the chord you can't contain. I rise inside the breakdown and sing through all your strain. Don't ask me to be cleaner when dirt is where I grew. In every crack and hollow, I'll echo back to you. Not all happy rounds, and still they ring. You listen close but miss the space where silence leaves a trace. The world plays loud but skips the tone of hearts that break alone. I sing where most won't dare to feel, in echoes, soft and real. No spotlight finds the notes I send, but still they never end. You won't hear me through the charts, but I still move the heart. And these are home yards of the unheard, not shaped by fame, not formed by word. surface but miss the soul. I echo what you tried to scroll. You like the part that played in tune, the polished mask that smiled at noon. But underneath the filtered tone, a voice still stands alone. You cut the breath to fit the beat, ignore the heart beneath my feet. But I still ring in every space, a self you can't erase. I'm not the version made for show, I'm what refuses no. I'm the reverb of the real me, the sound you tried to frame. You dressed me up in silence, but I still spoke your name. No echo here is empty, no trail is out of place. I bounce through every moment you tried to rephrase. You tried to rephrase. You look the best, cut out the raw, but couldn't mute what I still saw. Your edit sliced your timing tight, but truth still caught the light. You built a mix to fit the scene, but I remained behind the screen. A resonance you can't contain, that speaks beyond your chain. You blurred my sound but couldn't dim the chord that shakes within. I'm the reverb of the real me, the one you try to stall. But echoes bend through silence and reach beyond the wall. No filter holds my edges, no fader makes me small. The louder I am buried, the more I learn to call. The more I learn to call. I don't fade out, I resonate. I don't pretend, I reverberate. I haunt the spaces, you distort the frequencies you never caught. You turn the dial to block me out, but I still hum inside your doubt. I'm woven through your perfect tone, a phantom thought you left alone. Each time still belongs. Can be controlled. Truth does always render clean. Sometimes it breaks to be seen. You filtered facts into a glow, compress the edges till they go, but I still buzz beneath the gloss where truth outlives the loss. Your world's in HD, neat and fast, but I'm the lag that makes it last. I speak in frames that skip and glitch, that die to drop, you can't unstitch. You pixelate what hurts to feel, but I refuse to kneel. Big crushed truth still bleeding bits through static bursts and signal splits. You seek perfection's clean design, but I'm the broken spine that holds the song that shakes the air. I glitch because I care. Code the world in flawless terms, but miss the heat beneath the burns. You tune the noise to fit your norm, but I'm the pulse outside your form. No need to smooth the lines I draw. Each jagged piece reveals a law that says what breaks can still be bold. The truth can't be controlled. You mute the mess, you clip the real, but I still make you feel. So I can speak. Broken bite still bites. Every glitch still hits. You dress the sound in silk and glass, afraid the cracks might come too fast. You polished notes until they bled, but left no pulse inside what's said. You carved each line with rules and grace, but lost the soul in space. I may be raw, but I am free. My disarray still speaks for me. You crave the shine, ignore the sting, but truth won't always cling. Perfect doesn't sing, it just reflects the mold, but I was made from chaos, from stories left untold. The rhythm of the broken still shakes the tightest chain. You called it wrong, but listen, it echoes through the strain. Wraps the fear in gold. It hides the mess that makes us bold. I found my chords and shattered keys, in all the in-betweens. You told me flaws should fade away, but mine refused to stay. They learned to hum, to break, to burn. You tuned it tight, too clean, too thin, but real comes from within. Perfect doesn't sing, it only follows form. But I am in the static, where feelings rise and storm. I don't need to sound like angels, I need to sound like me. And if it cracks, then let it, that's where I'm most free. You silenced what you feared would sting, but I learned truth doesn't need a ring clean. Oh, 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 oh. I echo through each open seam, not from a dream, but from the scream. You tried to tape the signal tight, but sorrow leaks through every night. I buzz within the cracks you fear, a frequency too sharp, too near. Don't fix the hum, just let it be. My wounds are melody. You want the song without the scar, but I'm exactly as I are. These are wounds in stereo, no filter makes them fade. They pulse across the spectrum of every choice I've made. Distorted but relentless, this broken sound is true. You'll hear me in the silence because I echo through. These are wounds in stereo. I never asked to fit the range. I tuned myself through every change. You healed with hush, I healed with sound. By turning pain around, you search for volume sweet and safe, but I'm the depth beneath the wave. Each scar I carry sings in time, and dissonance becomes my rhyme. You saw perfection trimmed and neat, but I found grace in beat. These are wounds in stereo, you can't compress my flame. I play between the measures when no one writes your name. A choir of the broken, a verse you never knew, still echoing in feedback, and every note is true. These are wounds in stereo. My scars don't whisper, they sing in stereo. You called it peace, but it was just quiet fear. I called it broken, but it finally felt clear. You wrapped your world in velvet hush, afraid the truth would speak too much. You painted calm, you shaped a mask, but peace was never meant to last. Behind the silence, pulses screamed, the lies you whispered in your dream. You shut the door, ignored the tracks, but light leaks through the cracks. Your perfect stillness isn't pure, but my noise is something sure. No but I cracked and found my soul. You shut the door, but sound still slips through cracks. You turned away, but I remain. You built your walls, you sealed the seams, but echoes thread through broken dreams. You thought I'd fade in quiet air, but I still hum when you're not there. I wasn't meant for perfect lines. I bend the rules that silence binds. You turn me down, but miss the truth. My voice outlives your proof. You killed the sound, but not the spark. I still speak in the dark. I'm the echo you tried to silence, the noise beneath your skin. You closed your eyes to end me, but I rise again within. No filter can erase me, no shame will shut me down. I ring in every corner where your silence can't be found. You prayed for peace, but feared the scream. Yet I exist in every seam. I crack the glass you hide behind and turn your rules to something blind. You called me wrong, you named me loud, but I still bloom outside your crowd. I don't dissolve, I resonate. Your silence came too late. You lock the room, ignore the sound, but I still come around. I'm the echo you tried to silence, but silence has its end. You turned away and broke me, but broken still can bend. I live inside your quiet, a shadow that won't flee. You fear the sound of truth, but the echo was me. You buried the voice, but I became the ground. You erased the note, but I rewrote the sound. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. You wanted silence, but I'm made of echoes. You asked for peace, but I only know pieces. You wanted silence, but I'm made of echoes. You asked for peace, but I only know pieces. I am the voice between the lines, a skip between your perfect rhymes. I shake the words you meant to say and carve my path a different way. You crave a song that fits the mold, but I am stories left untold. A shattered phrase, a jagged beat, I bleed in my repeat. You call it noise, but still you hear the truth behind the sneer. Fragments speak louder than all your quiet lies. You stitched a pretty silence while I broke to survive. I scatter in the find sound where others sleep. In every glitch and every fall, I find the parts that still stand tall. You say I'm cracked, that I should mend, but I create what you pretend. My voice was born from incomplete, it's somehow more concrete. Your silence bends, but I still burn. There's truth in what won't turn. Fragments speak louder than echoes trimmed to size. Your harmony feels hollow compared to my raw cries. I don't need to be perfect, just fearless in my skin. Each break becomes a doorway where something new begins. You tried to hide the damage, but I play it at full volume now. Every crack, a beat I own. Every bruise, a deeper tone. You thought pain made me off-key, but it tuned what's real in me. I used to wear long sleeves of shame, afraid the world would know my name. But scars don't whisper when they heal, they amplify what's raw and real. You said be flawless, clean and smooth, but pain became my truest proof. Now every tear that left a mark becomes a chord inside the dark. These are my scars in stereo, wounds that sing what I won't show. Every line across my skin is rhythm carved from deep within. You called it damage, called it weak, but now they scream when I can't speak. I'm not ashamed of what I know, I play it loud. Scars in stereo. I won't pretend they're not still sore, but I don't hide them anymore. They carry truth, they carry fight, the proof I made it through the night. You tried to dull my deepest sound, to mute what pulled me to the ground. But what survived is louder still, a melody you couldn't kill. These aren't just stories in disguise, they're battle hymns behind my eyes. And when the silence comes too near, my scars are what you'll hear. These are my scars in stereo, wounds that sing what I won't show. Every line across my skin is rhythm carved from deep within. You called it damage, called it weak, but now they scream when I can't speak. I'm not ashamed of what I know, I play it loud. Scars in stereo. Turn up the pain, turn up the past, make it echo, make it last. No filter here, just flesh and flame. Each scar still knows my name. These are my scars in stereo, the anthem pain refused to throw. I turned each silence into sound and played it back from solid ground. I they meant was I made their silence shake. I vibrate in the cracks you sealed, where truth's too loud were kept concealed. You call me noise, a reckless flame, but you just feared I'd shift your frame. Your rules were quiet, dressed in white, but I was made from restless night. You spoke in tones designed to soothe. I brought a voice too raw, too true. You tuned me out, you closed the gate, but I grew louder through your hate. You feared the sound, you couldn't guide the one that won't abide. I am the frequency they feared, too wild a cage, too bold, too clear. I buzz beneath their comfort zone, a signal sharpened on my own. I speak in waves they try to block. I shake the ground, I break their clock. They built their power on what's steered, but I'm the pulse they always fear. I didn't fit their measured beats, so they declared me incomplete. But songs don't need to sound like theirs. I rise from storms, not perfect airs. While they rewrote what right should be, I lived in full volume debris. They feared my fire, my disarray, because I sang what they won't say. I'm not the piece they try to sell. I'm thunder that outgrew their shell. Not chaos, but a coded spark too fierce for fate and die. I am the frequency they feared, too wild a cage, too bold, too clear. I buzz beneath their comfort zone, a signal sharpened on my own. I speak in waves they try to block. I shake their ground, I break their clock. They built the power on what's steered, but I'm the pulse they always fear. Not meant for radio control, I rise unscripted, whole and bold. They tune the world to match their sound, but mine still shakes the ground. I am the frequency they feared, the truth that rang when lies appeared. I don't ask me out when I speak. I pierce the sky, I crack the meek. I'll never fold, I'll never fade. This wave I ride is self-made blade. No more erase, no more adhere. I am the voice they always fear. You can silence songs, but not the ones you're afraid to hear. You called it noise, but that was me. You turned the dial, dismissed the sound, said nothing here was worth the round. You masked the hum, ignored the bleed, but static spoke what silence hid. You wrapped the silence in a bow, pretending peace was just a show. But every crack, each broken line was screaming truth. You called decline. I wasn't quiet, just unheard, and static carried every word.
was always broadcasting.
You hush my sound, but never my heat. You turned me down when I spoke clear. You dressed your shame up as sincere. You cut my lines and took my stage, but couldn't trap the buried rage. You let me sing, but not too loud. You let me shine, dimmed by a cloud. You trimmed the edge, you dulled the flame, but fire doesn't play that game. I may have bent beneath your hand, but flames still crawl where silence stands. You clipped my voice, not my fire. I burned beneath your calm attire. You broke the sound, but not the spark that waited in the quiet dark. You shaped the pitch, erased the choir, but couldn't drown what rose higher. You framed my truth with softened tones, then claimed it weak when left alone. But fire grows when left unclaimed, and I am the heat you never tamed. I learned to blaze behind the scenes, to light the cracks of your routines. You stole the mic, I stole the storm, and lit a truth you can't reform. You silence words but miss the glow of every no I didn't show. You clipped my voice, not my fire. I rose through wires and choir wire. You kept control, rewrote my name, but sparks don't care for who takes blame. Now every beat you once inspired belongs to flames you can't retire. So go ahead, erase the track, the fire rides its own way back. You clipped my voice, but hear me now, uncaged and burning through the sound. No hand, no rule, no script survives the fire you once kept alive. You took the air, but not the pyre. You lit me, I became fire. You want it clean, but I was never meant to be smooth. I crackled through your perfect stream, refused to fit your silent dream. Too loud, too raw, too undefined, but mess like mine won't be confined. You wanted polished, pure and clear, but I was made to bend the ear. Not heaven tuned or factory set, but chaos laced with no regret. I'm not your script, not built to shine. I'm broken and still divine. I'm distorted but divine, a holy glitch in every line. I buzz, I bend, I pierce the gray, the sound of truth you pushed away. Not flawless, clean or to smooth or made me real, to blur the parts you couldn't feel. But what you called a flaw to fix was lightning born from shattered bricks. I sing in static, pulse and flare, a hymn that hums beyond repair. Don't worship gold and polished steel. My cracks are proof that pain can heal. I'm not aligned, I won't refine. I'm louder by design. I'm distorted but divine. My dissonance is by design. Each jagged note, each twisted seam is sharper than your quiet dream. I don't need rules, I don't need signs. I blaze beyond your dotted lines. So play me wrong, I'll still resound. My brokenness still shakes the ground. Distorted but divine, I roar a sacred glitch. You can't ignore your silence. Try to make me less, but I became the noise that blessed. Imperfect, fierce and undefined, and still I rise, distorted, divine. Not all angels come through clean. They shut the door, unplugged the mic, cut every word that didn't spike. They burned the pages, locked the room, declared my silence was my doom. They covered ears and turned the light, pretending silence made it right. But echoes live where voices bled, the things I meant but never said. You think it's gone, but feel the chill. These are echoes you tried to kill. Echoes they tried to kill still rise through every wall, through every lie. You buried me in noise and shame, but shadows scream without a name. You silence sound but not the will. I'm still the echo you couldn't kill. You told me I was too loud, but what you meant was too real. You said I shout, that I explode, that I don't take the quiet road. But I've seen silence wear a mask and heard it scream behind the glass. You lowered me like I was wrong for daring to speak loud and strong. But it was never sound you feared, just truths you fought when they got near. I wasn't noise, you just recoiled from anything you couldn't spoil. Refuses turn. Refuses turn. Refuses turn. Refuses turn. You blame my tone, not what I said. Ignore the cuts, the truth I bled. You asked for grace and built a cage and called it peace to hide your rage. You fear the sound that didn't shake, but made the sleeping systems break. You called it too much when I spoke, but now you're choking on the smoke. I was the voice you couldn't train, too full of sparks to sound like rain. Your bitter end. Your bitter end. Your bitter end. Your bitter end. You fear the rise, not just the sound, because I shook your solid ground. You heard a scream, I spoke a truth.
You thought silence would end me, but silence became my twin. You shut the mic, you locked the hall. Thought if I whispered I would fall, but muting me just fed the flame. Now there are voices with my name. You thought I'd crumble in the hush, but silence only made me rush through cracks and static sound and skin. Each time you blocked me, I broke in. You can't erase what multiplies the moment you avert your eyes. control, but roots still burst through concrete soul. I found new ways to shape the storm in every form. You tried to warm, you tuned me out, but not away. Now I'm the chord you hear each day. You made me quiet, never gone. Now I'm the wave that crashes on. You pushed me back, thought I'd be small, but echoes don't obey the wall. Mute me, I multiply. I speak in tongues you can't deny. You hushed one flame, now watch me spark. In voices rising from the dark. I never asked to qualify. I'm louder now because you tried. So silence me, go on, pretend, but every end becomes my sound. Mute me, I multiply. With every no, I learned to fly. You took my breath, I turned the wind, and scattered truth you kept within. The more you hush, the more I cry, and cry becomes a battle cry. Mute me, I don't fade, I spread. They said nothing was left, but I was just beneath the noise. They heard no sound, assumed I died, but silence doesn't mean I hide. They scanned the waves, found no reply, so called me ghost and passed me by. But I've been breathing in the break between each beat. The world can fake in static hums and quiet cracks. I'm still alive when no one tracks. Not every voice arrives with sound. Some live too deep to be found. Dead air still alive. I'm the hum beneath your drive. You turned the dial and heard no scream, but I exist inside the stream. I move through chords you say are dead, still pulsing in the threads you share. So hidden in the threads you shed. You only listen when it's loud, when pain is dressed to please the crowd. But I remain in unlit rooms where silence holds unspoken blooms. I echo in abandoned halls, in every name no system calls. I'm not erased, I'm just unseen, alive beneath your glossy screen. Don't count me gone just 'cause I'm louder. When I break your chill, dead air still alive. I'm the proof that ghosts survive. You thought me gone, but here I flow, where quiet things refuse to go. I ride the hum, I bend the light. I'm shadow with a spark to fight. So when the screen says no one's here, remember some things hum in fear. Dead air still alive, no static storm can scrape my drive. I live in loss from silence that still resonates. So turn it off, pretend